If you're struggling to gain muscle or wondering where the years of effort have been going, keep watching this video and I'm going to break down exactly what you're doing wrong and how you can finally crack the code to building muscle. I'm IFBB Pro Josh Bridgman. Yeah, that means I'm a professional bodybuilder. Yeah, that means my job is literally to build muscle. But not only that, but for the last 12 years now, I have coached over 1,200 people to building the physique of their dreams. Whether that be losing body fat, whether that be gaining tons of muscle, we do it all under my coaching brand. This is one of the things that I'm most proud of, is taking people who are watching this video right now and giving them the knowledge that they need in order for them to gain the muscle that they finally want. You've been hitting the gym for months, you're eating cleaner, you're training harder, but you're just not seeing the change in your physique. Now, we're gonna go into some of the reasons why that might be in this video. You've got no new size, no new strength. It's just the same kind of reflection looking back at you. So most people think like muscle gain is super, super easy. One of the biggest comments that I get from at least older gentlemen is, I used to look like that. I hope not, because this is 12 years of never missing a foot wrong. But most people think muscle gain is easy. Lift big, eat big, repeat. But if it was that easy, then the gym would be full of people that are huge. Right? And it's not. So there's a little bit more than eat more and train harder. That is the simplicity of it. There's a few more nuances that we can go into it. And I think I find after coaching people for 12 years that a lot of people, they're spinning their wheels and they're doing the wrong things over and over again. And they call it consistency, or at least it feels like consistency. So this isn't actually about effort. I think a lot of people have the effort, especially when the goal of building muscle, especially when it comes to building muscle. It's more about the execution. So if you're tired of training like a beast and still looking like a beginner, this is for you. We're gonna start with the worst offender, program hopping. Stop program hopping. Your favorite influencer, your 4-week gun program, gun as in biceps, YouTube, calm down. Your 6-week to bigger Arnold chest programs, the 12-week C-bum Olympia program. Stop jumping from program to program, because all this is doing is it's not allowing the body to adapt. The body is an adaptation machine. You need to force adaptation. The whole notion of keeping the body guessing and keeping a muscle guessing is just, it's actually categorically not right. What you need to do is pick a training program that suits you. You need to stick to it and you need to progress it. Now, you'll find that week 1 to 3, you don't feel super strong in those movements because they're new. Maybe you wobble a little bit more. Maybe you don't have the stability there. This comes from like a neurological programming in the actual exercise. And you'll find after week 3, maybe week 4, you start to feel way stronger and your progress starts to really go up. Well, if you change your program at week 4, you never really get a chance to get good at that exercise, recruit muscle in that exercise, and then be able to like progress the exercise to build more muscle. So instead of just chasing like novelty, which in terms of the program, chase mastery. Master the program, master the exercises, and you'll see some of the best bodybuilders in the world doing the same exercises they did 10 years ago because they work and they've mastered those exercises to get the most bang for your buck. So stick to one program for at least 10 to 12 weeks. If you can do more, do more. Track your lifts and progressively overload. So if you did 100 kilos for 10 reps for 2 sets last week, I want you to get 11 reps or 12 reps or 105 kilos. Progress something and use your training program and tracking it to hold yourself accountable. The next thing is going to be the classic. You think you're eating enough, you're not. I don't know how many guys have messaged me over the years who have said, bro, I eat 4,000 calories and I still can't gain weight. Yeah, it's because you need 4,500. Bro, I eat 5,000 calories. Bro, you would not believe how much food that I eat and I can't gain weight. Well, you need to eat more. That is it. Simple. So many guys overestimate their intake and also underestimate their needs. Muscle is expensive tissue. Training hard is an expensive thing to do. If you're not consistently in a calorie surplus, your body's not going to build, right? We can talk about steroids, we can talk about other stuff, but categorically, if you do not eat more than you need, you will really struggle, or at least you're not doing yourself any favors in terms of building muscle. So what you need to be doing is you need to be tracking your food a little bit more accurately. Maybe you download MyFitnessPal, MicroFactor, whatever it is, and you hit your minimum protein of 1 gram per pound of body weight, 200 grams of protein. You ensure that you're in a small surplus. Now, the easiest way to ensure that you're in a small surplus, eat the exact same amount of food, weigh yourself every day. What happens to your body weight? That is the answer. If you lose weight, it's a deficit. If you maintain weight, it's maintenance. If you gain weight, it's a surplus. That is literally the easiest thing that you can do. So ensure you're in a small surplus, something like 250 to 500 calories over maintenance. This will probably let you gain something about 1% of your total body weight per month. Now that should be a really good goal. So if you're 200 pounds, 1% of that is 2 pounds. 2 pounds a month. I think that's a really, really good rate of gain. It ensures lean tissue. It ensures you're not gaining too much unwanted fat. Remember, fat you gain, you have to lose eventually. I think we could really stick close to that. If you find that you're someone who just looks better and better and better, maybe you can increase that speed a little bit. But if you're not gaining weight over a 2 to 3 week period, eat more. And the people that say, I eat 4,000, 5,000, categorically know how much that you eat. And if you do not gain weight, eat more. That is it. Add another couple hundred calories in every time you do that. The next thing is going to be poor mind to muscle connection or poor form. So weight definitely moves weight, and there'll definitely be a little bit of a muscular reaction just by moving weight off the floor. That's why powerlifters are pretty well stacked, but it's why bodybuilders are bigger than powerlifters, because they recruit the muscle better and they have a better mind to muscle connection. What no one tells you is just because you can lift the weight doesn't mean you're actually training the targeted muscle, right? We have joints, ligaments. If you offload weights onto joints and ligaments and joints don't grow like muscles do. If your form is rubbish, momentum and joints are doing a lot of the work, not the muscle. And people can you see bounce a load of weight out of a chest press. It's just like tension in the joint and momentum. The older I've got, honestly, and I'm 32 now, there's a few exercises for sure, but I genuinely don't lift much more than 5 years ago on the bar. And the main reason is that, or because of that, is because I am better at training. I am considerably better at activating a muscle, considerably better at recruiting the muscle that I'm targeting. And if you can use more of that muscle, you are going to need to train it less weight, less volume, less overall input, because your output is so high. So yeah, I literally sat down and thought about it the other day, and I thought, damn, I just got 3 plates back on my Smith press. I did 3.5 plates 5 years ago, 4 years ago, but I was bouncing it. I was maybe using a band. I was not recruiting the muscle that I needed to. So focus on control, focus on contraction, focus on connection. If you can slow down the tempo, feel every single rep. The goal is stimulus, not always body weight, right? So if you can get off and feel that pump, then that's great. If you can't, maybe lighten the load, increase the reps a little bit, and really focus on improving that mind to muscle connection. There's a few things that you can do to improve your mind to muscle connection. I got a whole checklist that I use for my one-to-one clients for if they don't connect to their chest, here's what you should do before chest. If you don't connect to your back, here's what you should do before your back. And we implement this list and we always find that it works, because if you can't recruit a muscle, it's going to be very difficult to build a muscle. Now, recovery is super important and going to be the next thing that I talk about. Your actual muscle growth does not happen when you train. In fact, you break down muscle when you train. Muscle protein breakdown, which turns into muscle protein synthesis, which is the synthesis of new tissue. That happens outside of training, which we can call recovery. Training is training, outside of that is recovery. Everything you do outside of training is recovery. So if you're sleeping 5 hours a night, if you are chronically stressed, if you are chronically missing meals, not eating meals till late at night and training really hard and then not fueling yourself back, you're literally blocking gains. You are stopping yourself from recovering, and you are stopping yourself from building more muscle. So what I want you to do is to focus on 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Quality sleep, not just being in bed. There's a difference. You can even go as far to talk about the depths of deep sleep and REM sleep and the different stages of sleep, but I think we'll save that for another video. And if you do want to see that type of video, comment down below and let me know, and I'll do a sleep video for you guys on how to improve. You need rest days. You need to chill out. If you're someone whose brain requires exercise, go for a walk, go for a swim, do something light, but you need active rest from the gym. You need active rest from chronically training. Recovery isn't an option, It's a necessary, it's a requirement for you to build muscle. If you can train 6 or 7 days in a week, hard, in quotation marks, I would challenge you to come train with me for 6 days in a row and see if you could do that. I recently just trained with 2 of my friends. We got to the 4th day in a row and everyone was like, nah, I'm out, I can't do this anymore. Because we are very efficient at training, very efficient at recruiting the muscle that you need. And when you efficiently recruit that muscle properly, you are in desperate need of that recovery. So please focus on recovery. Stress eats into your, and stress can come from, yes, stress in life, but stress from training is what I'm talking about here. Can eat into your recovery, zap your testosterone, zap your thyroid. Instead, prioritize your sleep, prioritize your hydration, prioritize your downtime, actually like chill out once in a while, and I promise you, you're gonna grow more. Best thing I ever did was go from 6 days a week to 5 days a week and throwing in an extra day training. I found that I just started to grow much, much better. So really, really think about that. Maybe the number one reason why most people don't build the muscle they want is because they quit too early. You weren't consistent enough. You chased that dopamine high of progression and fell off when you didn't reach it anymore. But the reality is strength and muscle progression, it's like a bell curve. And it happens really quick at the start when you're loving it. But the real gains are made when you start to peak on that bell curve. And that is where the magic happens, by just staying in that grind and repeating that process over and over and over. A lot of people, especially in the social media world, you want this 3-year transformation in like 30 days, 60 days, and it's just not possible. Muscle takes time. Fat loss, sure. Give me 12 weeks, we get a lot of people shredded in that time. Give you 12 weeks, you're not gonna gain a lot of muscle in that time. That's reality. You need to think about this as a long-term project. And I think that what you build over time, it's just not as satisfying as when you lose body fat. And it's much harder to see that motivation. It's much harder to build that motivation because it's much harder to see the results. So what you need to focus on instead is the small goals that you can control. How strong are you getting? What's the new body weight goal that you're trying to get to? Like, how many weeks in a row did you manage to train perfectly? Those are the kind of things that you need to do. And what's important here is like discipline means showing up when motivation dies. So even when you don't feel like it, you gotta eat your meals. Even when you're a little bit tired, maybe you still need to get that training session in. Maybe it means you need to track your lifts when no one else is watching and no one really cares how much you lift. You still need to track those things. That's how real muscle is built. And this is what an old mentor of mine used to say to me, is like, muscle building is easy. Train hard, eat, sleep, and do all the things we just said in this video. The hard part is how many days can you string together, followed by weeks, followed by months, followed by years. How many of those can you string together? And that is what really dictates a huge change in muscle. Stop bulking for 3 or 4 months and then going for a cut for 3 or 4 months. Double it. Double the bulk, keep the cut the same. 6 to 8 to 12 to 14 months. If you can stay in that surplus, you should. Right now, I'm in the process of building the most muscle that I've ever built. I'm taking a full year away from cutting. I got off stage September 2024. It's currently May 2025, or the end of May 2025, or June when you watch this. And the last 9 months, I've been in a calorie surplus. And for the next 6 months, I will still be in a calorie surplus because I am serious about gaining muscle. And I know that it seriously takes that long. So it's very, very important that you heed my warning on the time investment and make sure you're doing it. So don't just get to 3 months in and think nothing's working. You got to stick with it. Keep assessing all of the things that we talked about here today and look back when you can to make sure you can see that progress. Guys, if you're tired of trying and failing, if you're done guessing, you want a proven method that works, I do this one-to-one with people just like you watching this video who have struggled with muscle gain and they finally want to crack the code. This is what I do for a job. This is what I've done for a job for the last 12 years. We literally have the blueprint. What I'll do is I'm going to drop a link and I'm going to pin it to the top in the comments. All I want you to do is hit that link. You're going to be able to book in with a one-to-one free call with myself where we can go through your life, a little diagnostic. What are you doing? And we'll see if we can offer you some tangible value on that call. Of course, you have the option of coaching if you want it, but most importantly, like, let's run through where you're at right now. Let's see what you need, and let's even see if I can help you. But 9 times out of 10, there's something really, really easy that we can fix. And all you need to do, hit that link below, and I promise you I'll show it to you. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you soon in the next one.